Hey everyone, welcome to the live stream. Today we are going to be creating our own cryptocurrency. And before we start, just to make sure that systems are up and running, can I get a yes from everybody in the chat to make sure that everybody is able to listen? Okay, looks like there is some echo. Let me see if I can fix that. Good. All right. So let me give you a brief overview of what we are going to be doing today. So basically what we will start with is we will create an Ethereum wallet, and this will be the wallet in which we will be holding the coin that we create. We will be using MetaMask for this, which is basically a browser extension. And once we have our wallet set up, we will start creating our coin. Now to create the coin, that will happen in a few steps. We will first see how we define the properties of the coin. So, we will set up an initial amount of the coin. We will then use the code that we have generated and deploy it on the Ethereum testnet. So we will come to exactly what an Ethereum testnet is and why we are using that. And finally, what we will do is we will see how the economy works in action. Basically, we will, the coin that we have created, we will send that to an account, and that account will then send it to somebody else to see how economy or finances actually run on the real blockchain. So let's get started. So the first thing that we will do is set up our Ethereum wallet using MetaMask, and it is really easy to do. All you need to do is go to metamask.io, and you should see an option here, download now, and it will ask you to install MetaMask for whatever browser you're using. And it's a very simple browser extension which basically creates a wallet for you on the blockchain. Ethereum is the primary blockchain, but it also has some very cool features which let you use the same wallet, your same account on multiple blockchains. So let's toggle this extension. 1 second. Yes, we want to let it run, and it's loading a little slow. Okay, there we go. So the first time you load into MetaMask, it will walk you through how to, as it says, connecting you to the Ethereum and the decentralized web. So all you need to do is, follow the steps on screen. It's going to ask you if you're new to MetaMask. You can press on yes, create a wallet, do read through everything here. And when you agree, you will be required to set up a password. So I am going to set up a password here. Now, keep in mind that, this is an Ethereum wallet and it doesn't work like a traditional account, a bank account. So if you lose this wallet, you have lost all the money in that wallet forever. There are ways to protect your wallet, and we will cover that in the upcoming sessions. But for now, it will give you this series of secret, recovery phrase. As it says, your secret recovery phase makes it easy to back up and restore your account. Warning, never disclose your secret recovery phase. Anyone with this phrase can take your Ether forever. This is very important to keep in mind. Whatever secret phrase that you get, this is how you unlock your account essentially if you lose it by accident. But if you lose the secret phrase, there is absolutely no way to recover your wallet ever again. So copy this for, somewhere safe, and it will, ask you to uh, like write it back. So we are just going to copy whatever it says. So rebel noise couch wealth. Okay. Rebel noise couch wealth. Metal mix club enjoy. Where's metal? Okay, there it is. Metal mix club enjoy. Knife grape together buyer. Okay, knife grape together buyer. These sentences don't make any sense, but yeah, this is just something you need to do to set up your account for the first time. And there it is. This is all you have to do to, as you can see, it says Ethereum mainnet. So this is actually an account that you have just created on the Ethereum blockchain in like a few very easy steps. Once again, keep in mind that if you lose the secret phrase, you have lost your account forever. Another cool thing that you can do here is, so first of all, I'm going to change its name to something else. So I click on account details. I can call it something like bot. Another cool thing you can do is you can just add another account. So once you have a secret phrase, you can link it to as many accounts as you want. So now I have 2 accounts on Ethereum, and yep, that's really it. There is this hash written, which is your public key. What this is essentially is what you give to people who you want to receive Ethereum from. So let's say Alice wanted to receive 1 ETH from Pranav. Alice would share her this account key with Pranav, and Pranav will be able to use it to transfer coins to her. We will come to how that actual transfer happens in the next phase of the presentation. So once this is done, the next thing you need is Ethereum. So every transaction that happens on Ethereum, right, happens with some cost. So unlike the traditional internet where you can interact with the web for essentially free, on Ethereum every transaction costs some money, which is paid in ETH. So to be able to create your own coin, you will need some ETH. Now obviously this is not feasible if you are just starting out, which is why Ethereum comes with something called a testnet. So we are going to be using the Robsten testnet. So a testnet is, to put it simply, it's like the, testing version of the real Ethereum blockchain. It is very easy to connect to, and what it allows you to do is it allows you to get some test ETH, so you can actually test your code, play around with your contracts. Contracts are the code that you deploy on Ethereum. Play around with that, make sure everything works, and then move to the mainnet so that you are not shipping buggy code. And yep, that's really it. So you go to Google, you look for Robsten testnet, and it will take you here. Now what you need to do is you need to add Robsten to your Ethereum wallet. So right now it is connected to the mainnet. You click here and you click on add network. Now here it's going to ask you for some details that you need to fill. So very quickly we'll just go through those steps. Add Robsten testnet to MetaMask. There we go. So all we need is let's copy these details here. My bad. So I'm just looking for a link where I can get the details of the Robsten testnet. Let's come back to that in a while. Right now I already have this set up, I will link some documents in the stream below so that you can actually see how you connect to the Robsten test network. As you can see, we are already connected here. So let's move forward. Now, like I said, you are going to need some ETH. Now, this ETH that you see here is not actual ETH, right? Because it is not available on the what do you call it? The main Ethereum mainnet. It's only present on the Robsten test network, and this is money that you get through what is called a faucet. So all you do is you go to one second. You go to faucet dot Robsten, and yeah, there it is. And you enter your testnet account address. Now this is the account address that we got here. So I'll open my wallet. I'll get Bob's account address and I'll paste it here. Okay, it says gray list period is now reset on this IP address. Okay, great. So once you click on send me test ether, what it will do is after a while it will send you ether. And as you can see, I have done that several times, and after a while that balance will reflect here. Once you have achieved that, I will obviously link some docs in the window below to guide you through how you can get ether on the Robsten test network. Now once you have that, we can actually start coding. Now I know that in the beginning and in the presentation description and our post, we said that we don't require any coding, which is true, but I will walk you through what is happening in that code. So to begin writing the logic for our cryptocurrency, we will go to OpenZeppelin docs, and they have this really cool feature called the contracts wizard. So here what you can do is you can actually just checkbox the features that you want in your coin, and it will write the code for you. So let's say the token that we are going to deploy is Learn Web3, and our token symbol is going to be LWE. So this is kind of like how Bitcoin is named Bitcoin and its symbol is BTC. So our name is going to be Learn Web3 and our symbol is going to be LWE. Now premint is a very important part. I will take a pause here and kind of explain what that does. So as most of us know, right, that Bitcoin has a supply which is limited to 21 million Bitcoin. What that means is that when Bitcoin was created, right, it was declared that there will only ever be 21 million of those Bitcoin. There will never be more, there will never be less. This is kind of to introduce, prevent the system from ever going into hyperinflation, which is a very cool feature that no fiat currency can actually guarantee. So for our testing purposes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick with 1000 LWE coins for our, for our demo, and you can choose whatever number you want. You can obviously, go through all these features, and we will talk about some of them once we, get this contract going. So another thing that I want to take some time to talk about is this decimals that you see here. So basically when you added this 1000 value, it got multiplied by this value, right? Now you don't really need to understand exactly what this line of code is doing, but this decimal is actually playing a very powerful role. So to explain that, I will kind of digress and talk about currency in general. And one of the features that you just expect any currency to have is that it needs to be denominable. So denominable, right? And a denominable currency is one which can be broken into smaller units of equal value. What does that mean? That all that means is that let's take the example of a rupee, right? So we know that 1 rupee can be broken into 100 units of 1/100th of a rupee, which we generally call a paisa, which is similar for the dollar. It can be broken into 1/100th of a dollar, and we know this unit as a cent. Similarly, all cryptocurrencies are also inherently denominable. So the difference there, however, is that dollar and rupees can only be broken down to like 10 to the power 2th units. Cryptocurrencies can be broken down to as many integers as you want. So our coin here, so for example, Bitcoin, right? One Bitcoin can actually be broken down into 1/10 to the power 18th of a Bitcoin. So, you can exchange 0.1 Bitcoin, you can exchange 0.01 Bitcoin, you can exchange 0.001 Bitcoin, and you can actually exchange 1/10 to the power 18th of a Bitcoin, which is a very powerful thing that you can never do with fiat currency. This decimal is essentially doing that. Since we are kind of creating a coin which is in many ways similar to Bitcoin, this coin is guaranteed to always exist, in 10,000 total units, and it can be denominated up to 1 to 10 to the power 18th. So without going into too many details, all you need to know is that this decimal is actually, this line is actually saying that, hey, create my currency, like create 10,000 units of my currency such that each unit is divisible up to 10 to the power 18 integers, 18 decimals. We will see that number actually show up. So let's actually start to code. Now, once you have declared a name, you have declared a symbol, and you have declared a pre-mint value, which is the fixed supply of the coin, all you need to do is open it in Remix. A Remix is kind of like the Ethereum development environment where you actually write these contracts, you write code, you create coins, and then you deploy them to the mainnet. So we have this code show up here, and as you can see, it is a very small chunk of code. Now let me just go here, make sure that we can just very quickly I'll brief you over what is happening here. This is actually the exact same code that was written here. So you don't need to understand everything. This is a library that we're using. This is the contract name because that is what we are calling our coin. This is its symbol, and this is its initial value. So let's start. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to compile this code. To do that, let me see if I can change its name first. Where is it? Yep, there it is. I'm going to call it lwe.solve. Please make sure that you do not remove the this .sol from the name because it is an extension and it lets the compiler know that this code is written in Solidity. Solidity is the programming language. So once you have this contract, the next step is that you go to the compiler. There's a bunch of compiler versions here. We are going to use 0.87. It's we are not going to go into details of why we are choosing this compiler version. So we are going to simply click on compile, and if we get this contract and publish on IPFS and compilation details, we can see that the contract was successfully compiled. Once that is done, the next step is that we are going to deploy it. So what we have done is, now I'm assuming that you have MetaMask installed, you have acquired some test ETH, and you have actually just those two steps, that you are connected to Robsten, you have acquired and you have acquired some ETH on the Robsten test network. Once you have that, you select injected Web3 here, and this should in some occasions it will open your MetaMask extension. The reason it did not open it for me was that I have already connected to the wallet before, but sometimes it will ask you to connect. In that case, all you have to do is press OK. And here what I'm going to do is I'm also going to supply some gas. So like I said, right, that every transaction that happens on the Ethereum blockchain requires a fees to be paid, which is the mining fees. In Ethereum's vocabulary, it's called the gas. So since we are not too worried because we are using test ether, we can just supply a sufficient number, and 10, actually let's go with 15. 15 is a good enough number. Make sure that you have selected the right contract here, and then all you need to do is click on deploy. It will do some gas estimation. You can ignore that pop-up, and this should trigger MetaMask again. Let me just get rid of all the text on my screen. Great. So it's going to give you an estimated gas fees and the max gas fees, and it will say that it will be done in 30 seconds. So I'm sure you have commonly heard that one problem with scalability in blockchains is that transactions take time. So this is what this number is indicating, that it will be 30 seconds or less than 30 seconds before the contract is actually deployed. So once that is done, it will show up here as a contract pending. So, okay, it seems to have thrown some error. Let's look at that. So when you open your MetaMask wallet again, you will actually see the contract deployment and the transaction details here. Let's open it on Block Explorer and see what went wrong. Okay. Okay, looks like it's not giving us very good errors. Let's try to do that again. I'm going to speed this transaction up by supplying it more gas. So I'm going to say 20 and add 15 here. Oh, my bad. So this is the max gas fees. And let's make that 15. Okay, looks like this transaction succeeded. So I can actually go on Block Explorer and see this. So yeah, this will load in a while, but we can actually come back and look at the success on this page itself. There we go. So once the contract is successfully deployed, right, you will see a lot of these functions show up. We are not going to go into the details of all of these functions, but if you click on name, it will return you learn web3, which is the name of your token, of the contract. If you click on symbol, it's going to give you LWE. And if you click on total supply, you see this number. This is actually, so this number, as you can see, is actually very large than 10,000. So what this number again is 10,000 times 10 to the power 18. So which is what this number here is indicating. But yeah, we don't really need to worry about that. What we are going to do is we are going to see how this token looks in our wallet. So in assets here right now, you see this coin called LTE. This was actually a token I had previously deployed. I can actually start seeing this coin, the one that I have just created, LWE here. To do that, all you have to do is click on import token and copy the contract address. So to get the address, what you do is transaction recorded. Let's see where we can get the contract address. Yep, there we go. So if you click on this copy button, it will basically give you the contract address. The contract address is basically like the location of, where the code for your coin is living on the blockchain. So when you tell your wallet that, hey, I want to see this coin, you first need to tell your wallet where that, code for that coin is living. So when you paste this here, it will automatically pre-fill these values. And when you click on add custom token and then import token, this will start to show up here. So as you can see, we have actually created a coin and added it to our wallet, in our wallet being Bob's wallet. And theoretically, we are actually done. We have created a coin. We can see that on the Ethereum blockchain, and we can actually see it on our wallet. There are a couple of interesting things you can do, but before that, let's actually see how the economy of blockchain works. So now the coin wouldn't be very useful if I couldn't actually transfer it to my friends, right? So what I'm going to do is I am going to, send. So I have 10,000 LWE, right? I'm going to send, let's say, 1,000 of it to Alice. So Alice is another account that I have, but Alice doesn't have any of these coins. So let's first make sure that Alice is able to see the balance of this coin in her wallet, and we will quickly add this. There we go. And as you can see, Alice right now has 0 of these coins. Now we'll go back to Bob, and what we'll do is we'll get Alice's address first. So let's get Alice's address. We'll go back to Bob, and we will send we will send our coin. So yeah, there we go. We will send this to Alice. So we will send, let's say, 200 LWE to Alice. And when we do that, you will see these details of the transaction appear. So let's go over it very quickly. This is the gas fees. This is the fees that you have to pay for this transaction. So treat it like a bank fees on an RTGS. This total will show you how much monetary value you are spending. So our 200 LWE plus 0.00021 ETH, which is the gas fees, which adds up to $0.55 of in US dollars. Great. So when I click on confirm, something should happen. Looks like okay, there we go. Okay, so this transaction is started, and what I can do is I can actually view this on Block Explorer. So Block Explorer is essentially a way to track the activity on the blockchain. So this is a service provided by this company called Etherscan, and here, as you can see, it says Robsten.etherscan. So basically, it's going to show you all the details, right? It's a token transfer from this person to this person, and it's for 200 LWE. The value transferred is 0 in Ether, and you can actually see more details of the hash by simply copying this hash and clicking on search. So when you click on search, okay, it's the same page. Sorry, let me go to Alice's activity, Bob's activity. So right now this transaction is still mining, but if you copy anybody's public address, the account address, you can just copy it on Etherscan and look at all the activity that they have done. And coming back to, yeah, there we go. So this will take about, I don't think it should take too long. Let's see if we can speed this transaction up or not. Okay, looks like it's already sent. So now Bob's balance should have reduced by 200, which is true. And Alice's address balance should have increased by 200. So basically, yeah, now Alice holds this coin, and Let's extend this a little further. And what we will do is I have another account by the name of Charlie. We'll send this to Charlie. So I'll get Charlie's account address, which is basically, Charlie sharing his account address with Alice. And Alice is now going to send, let's say, 50 of these LWE to Charlie. And let's edit the gas fees to speed things up a little bit. I'm going to say maximum fees is 30 and max priority fees is also 30. And I'm going to save it. And as you can see, the gas cost just went up because I'm supplying more gas. But since it's test ETH, it's not actually costing us any money. We can go ahead with this. And again, let's look at this transaction on the Block Explorer. It's in a pending state, but any second now, this page will refresh and show us what has happened. So let me get rid of this text here. And okay, looks like this has succeeded. So let's open our wallet again and see what has happened. Looks like Alice's assets have gone down by 50 LWE and Charlie is not tracking this asset. So let's first, add this asset to Charlie's address. We'll copy the contract address. We'll open our wallet. And we'll import tokens. There we go. And yep, as you can see, Charlie now already has a balance of 50 assets. So Charlie doesn't necessarily have to be tracking the coin for receiving it. Now let me, okay, so theoretically we are actually done. But before we digress into more deeper details of what we have done, let me quickly summarize what we have achieved. So we, Bob, started by creating a coin called LWE. Bob fixed its supply to 10,000 LWE and then deployed it to Robsten testnet. To do that, Bob had to do some prerequisite stuff, which was Bob had to first create a wallet. Second step, they went to the Robsten testnet and acquired some test ETH. The third, they wrote the contract for the token that they want to deploy. So they created some LWE code using OpenZeppelin. And finally, they deployed this contract. They deployed their coin to the Ethereum blockchain, to the Ethereum testnet, Then Bob got in touch with one of her friends called Alice. He told Alice that, hey, Alice, give me your public key and I'm going to send you some, coin that I have just created. So he got Alice's key. Which was the public key, which Alice shared with her. And Bob transferred 200 LWE to Alice. Now, following that, what Alice did was Alice again got in contact with one of her friends called Charlie. Charlie gave Alice her public key and Alice was able to transfer 50 LWE to Charlie. And I want to take a brief moment to actually understand the magnitude of what we have actually achieved. We have actually created a micro economy which has absolutely no regulation. So once Bob has created that token and once Bob has given that token to Alice, a quantity of that token to Alice, Alice can choose to do whatever she wants with it. Alice can share it with one friend. She can actually share it with as many friends as she wants. And even Bob, the creator of that coin, the creator of that currency, cannot control what happens with that currency. And that is actually, the liberating power of blockchain. That unlike our traditional fiat, which is highly regulated, which is whose supply is maintained by the government, whose supply is manipulatable by the government, this currency has none of that. You can once you have created a currency, you can share it with anybody without worrying about any kind of regulation which will prevent you from uh, basically trading in that coin. And yep, that is really it. So we I know that we have not shared any docs at the bottom of the screen right now, but at the end of this call we will definitely share some share some links at the bottom of the chat. And please join our Discord channel. Kiran, if you're in the chat, if you can share the Discord link in the chat, if we can pay take up queries there. And obviously this video is going to be available in perpetuity on our channel, so you can go through it. And I'll start to talk about several other things, but I wanted to summarize the power of crypto. In like less than 30 minutes, you have actually created a bank account on the Ethereum blockchain. You have created your own currency on the Ethereum blockchain, and now you're openly trading it with people. I am actually creating 3 different accounts in the same wallet, but if I had like anybody else's public key, I could just as easily send this coin to them. I can decide how much of its supply there is going to be, but once that is deployed, I can never regulate it anymore, which means that it will always be transparent. It will never be prone to, foreign attacks. It will never be prone to government injection or intervention. And it will never be prone to, network malice, because no single person can, independently take over the Ethereum blockchain, which means that, in this decentralized environment, it is always going to keep a secure wrapper around the assets that you hold. So well, let me go over the chat and see if people have any questions. Looks like no questions so far, but please feel free to share your questions if you have any. Meanwhile, what I'll do is I'll move to the next phase. So coming to the rewards part, if you guys read the post, what we said was that if that at the end of the call, we will give you a chance to earn an NFT. So here is how that is going to be. Watch the video again, go through these steps at home, and create your own coin. I'm going to share my own public address, my Ethereum wallet address. Okay, looks like there's a question from AAM. The whole process we went through was on a test network, right? Is the process the same on the Ethereum network as well? Yes, absolutely. All you need to do is go to your wallet and switch to Ethereum mainnet, and everything else will be exactly the same. The only difference is you are going to need real ETH there. You can't go to a faucet like I went and get ETH from that. The very fact that faucets exist, a faucet is basically a way to acquire free ETH. So there is no such faucet for the mainnet. You will have to probably go to a wallet to get ETH. And there are alternatives to, doing what we just did for free. So that is the part that I will come to now. Like I said, we were talking about the rewards, right? So if you go home, create your own coin and send that to my wallet, we will actually share an NFT with you, which will be like a certificate of completion for the course. We will reach out to you on LinkedIn or Twitter. Once you share that, once I receive that balance in my wallet, I will reach out to you on Twitter. So I will also share my Twitter handle. So tag us on that, tweet about the currency, the coin that you have created, and share that coin with us on our wallet address. And once you do that, we will send you one NFT, which is customized to your name and your profile picture, which is like a certificate of completion. But the difference is that this certificate of completion is going to be an NFT on the mainnet. Yes, so whatever we did right now was on the testnet. So in real world economics, it doesn't have any value. But we are going to give you an NFT which will be on the mainnet. And we are actually not going to use Ethereum for that. We are going to use Polygon Network for that. So let's very quickly talk about what is Polygon. Polygon is basically yeah, there we go. So Polygon, right? Polygon is basically nothing but a layer built on top of Ethereum. So as you saw, right, that every transaction in Ethereum costs some gas, which can make using Ethereum directly very expensive. If you had to send like 10 ETH to somebody and you had to pay like 0.01 ETH for that transaction, it becomes extremely excuse me, it becomes very expensive to do that on a scale, which is why solutions like Polygon exist. Polygon is a proof of stake blockchain, which is built on top of Ethereum. So what it does is that it lets you create transactions for very limited gas fees, sometimes even no gas fees, and it behaves exactly like Ethereum but a layer above it. So whatever transactions you do here eventually get recorded to Ethereum, but while you are transacting on the Polygon network, you're not paying any fees. So this is what we are going to do. We are going to send you our Learn2Earn NFT on the Polygon network. And the cool thing about Polygon is that you can actually use the same wallet address, that you created for Ethereum on Polygon. Because like I said, Polygon is again just a blockchain built on top of Ethereum. That being said, that is how, we are going to go over the reward system. And looks like we have another 15-20 minutes. So just to summarize very quickly, after the end of the webinar, please go back, create your own coupon. We will share the details. So if you haven't joined our Discord channel already, please join it. We will share the details of how you can earn your own, customized NFT. And it's basically going to be, you follow us on Twitter, you create the coin following the tutorial that we shared, and then you send it to us. Send some amount of that to us. You don't have to do it on the mainnet. You can do it on Robsten, and it is absolutely free. If you get stuck on any step, please watch the video again or reach out to us on our Discord channel. We have several developers on the network who will be more than happy to several developers on the server who will be more than happy to help you throughout the steps. Once we have received that, and once we see that you have tweeted us about the coin that you have created, we will send you an NFT which will basically consist of your name. It will consist of a profile picture, and it will have text which says that this person has successfully created their own coin, is officially part of the Ethereum network. And this NFT is not going to be on the testnet. It's going to be on the Polygon mainnet. So you can actually trade it on all the NFT platforms out there. The most common one being OpenSea. So if you go to OpenSea and click on Explore, you will see all kinds of NFTs that people publish. So your NFT will actually be publishable on any such marketplace, and you can add it to your resume, you can add it to your LinkedIn profile. And I don't know if you know or not, but Twitter is actually coming up with NFT profiles. So let's look at what that is about. But you might actually be able to use the NFT that you get as part of your Twitter profile. And yep, that's really about it. Do we have more time left? Okay, looks like we do. Let's go over a few other features of the coin that we created then. I'll go back to the contract wizard. So this was the first step that we started out with, where we were creating the coin. So let's call our coin this time LWE3, and I'm going to use the same symbol I'm just going to walk through all the features that you can add. So let's say we started with 1,000, right? Now, yeah, let's look at Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is a currency which has a static value, but there are coins out there which don't have a static value. Oops. Yeah, leave. Okay, some weird pop-up showed up. Okay, looks like people are asking questions. Please, deadline for creating coin. We need to create the coin in Ethereum testnet. No, Jishantu, you need to create it on the Robsten testnet. Yeah, sorry, on the testnet, not on the mainnet. To create tokens on the mainnet, you actually have to spend ETH, and we just want to make sure that you understood the process. So, and the deadline for creating it is 12 p.m. February the 4th. And yeah, so coming back to this, let's go over the features that you can add. So you see this feature called Mintable. Basically, what that allows you to do is keep the value of the coin that you have dynamic. So, for example, let's say let's actually look at this in action. I am going to open it in Remix again. Ah, my browser is running slow because of the so many tabs that I've opened. But yeah, let's open this in Remix, and okay, there we go. So this coin is going to be mintable now. Now what we will do is, so Bob created the first one. This time let's get Alice to create a coin. So I'm just going to switch my accounts here. Okay. Why is this not opening? Okay, it's just a little slow. That's all. Let's go to Alice. Yeah. Now what I'll do is, so Alice is here, and using Alice's ETH, we are going to deploy LWE3. I know it is supposed to be LWE2, but since we're talking about Web3, I'm just going to call it LWE3. So let me rename this LWE3, and yeah, let's quickly compile it. Again, we are going to use this Solidity version. We are going to click on compile, and once we get this proves that our contract has successfully compiled. So you let me also write down the steps of what we are doing. 1 second. So configure your contract, on Open Zeppelin, open the contract in Remix. Then the third step is to compile it, which is on the what we are doing right now. Once it is compiled, we are going to deploy it. So we select injected Web3, and it should say Robsten networks. Please make sure, if you are already holding Ethereum in your mainnet, that you don't accidentally deploy it to the mainnet, because you will be charged Ethereum, real Ethereum, for that. You switch to Gwei, you add some gas limit. Let's extend that to some bigger number, and I'm going to give it 30. And this is again like the fees. So gas limit basically means that I'm supplying it 30, but it can extend up to this much amount. So I'm going to select the LWE3 contract here, and I'm going to click on deploy. When I click on that, it should open your MetaMask wallet. So again, after compiling, we deploy using injected Web3. And if any of these terms sound confusing, please know that we will be sharing links to understanding all of this in our Discord channel. So if you're intimidated right now, that is completely fine. Okay, yep. I'm going to supply it to GV. GV is like 1/10 of ETH. So, yep. And I'm going to click on confirm. And let's see. Okay. Looks like it failed. Let me try that again. So this is a common issue with the testnet. Sometimes the deployment doesn't go through in the first go. Nothing to worry about. Let's try it again once. Okay. Exceeds block gas limit. Oh, I think I know what the issue is here. We probably supplied way too much gas to it. So this time let's go a little modest on the gas that we supply. I'm just going to supply it 1 and I'll click on save. And let's see, this should work. So, okay, looks like Alice doesn't have a lot of ETH, which is probably why this seems to be failing. What I'll do is I'll use Bob's account again because Bob has sufficient amount of ETH. And just to make sure that we are connected, I'll just refresh the browser, because sometimes when you switch your accounts on Web3, MetaMask, it doesn't immediately reflect on the browser. So okay, looks like let's compile this contract again. Okay. Excuse me. Let's go to deploy and run injected Web3 and value, let's give it 1,000 way. You can look at the conversion between these 4 units. Actually, you know what, let's apply some gas in. Bad idea. Let's stick to way. I'll supply it. So the limit is 30,000, right? I'll just reduce 1 0 from it and deploy. Something did not work. Let's try that again. I wonder what happened here. I compiled the wrong contract. So this is the one that I was actually supposed to compile. Yeah. That was probably why it wasn't getting deployed either. Sorry, weird. Hang on, let me. So I go here, compiler. Let me, close this instance. I think I messed something up. I'll go back to Remix. And yep. Okay, so this opened my code. I'm going to get rid of the older ones. Delete this. Delete this. and rename this. This V2 is just to make sure that I don't, V3 is to make sure that I don't deploy the wrong contract again. So I'm going to select the compiler version, the language, EVM version is fine. And yep, compile LWE3 V3 contract. Okay. Okay, I don't really need to select that. I'll go here, injected Web3, and let's make sure that we are using the right account. So it's 0xD4E. Yep, it's the same account. We are going to add some gas fees to it. And we are going to select the contract that we just compiled and deploy. And now it should behave properly and do as it's told. What is happening? I am going to supply it with a lot of gas. So the more gas, by the way, so yeah, I forgot to mention this, but the more gas you supply, the quicker your transactions will be. So it's very capitalistic. The more money you pay, the blockchain will pay you more respect. So yeah, you save it and you click on confirm. And let's track this transaction here. I will be very pissed off if it doesn't work this time, but hopefully it won't come to that. Okay, let me see what happens. Okay, this nothing I can do about it really. It's a problem with the testnet, so I'm just going to click on deploy again. This is why the testnet is, so you can play around with your code without worrying about spending money. So let's make it 10 and 5 years. Sorry, the max fees is supposed to be 10 and we are going to supply it 5. Confirming. Okay, there we go. This time the contract deployed successfully, and you can see all the methods there on this contract here. Now the final step. Why did we deploy this contract? We added a feature called Mint here, right? So basically the idea behind Mint is that the first, let me get rid of this text here. Delete. So the first one that we deployed, the LWE, its initial supply was 10,000, and when Bob wanted to send Alice the money, he had to reduce this, he had to take from this 10,000 pool. So he took minus 200 from it and sent that to Alice. So eventually Bob's wallet address went down to 9,800 and Alice's went up to 200. But now the LWE3 that we created, right? LWE3 that we created, it has a minting function. My tablet is acting up. Okay. What? Anyways. Damn, every time I type, it seems to add this extra line. Okay. It has a minting function. So what that basically does is, I'm just going to hang on, I'm just going to clear this out. So basically what Why I hate tablets. Anyways, so our LW3, right? The first one that we deployed, LWE, in that you could only transfer from your own pool. With this one, what you can actually do is transfer by creating more coin. So let's say, let's first add this to our assets, right? I'm going to first start tracking it in Bob's wallet. Loading tokens. And yeah. So Bob right now has 9000 LWE3, right? And I'll also go to Alice. And I'm going to import the same asset here. And Alice has 0. But now what Bob can do, so Bob can actually call this contract. So I'm going to paste Alice's address in the mint function. So what I've done is, if you look carefully, this is the mint function, and I've added the address of Alice here, and I'm going to call this function through Bob, because Bob is the one who is currently owning this. So Bob goes here, calls mint, and wait, it's supposed to take 2 parameters, yeah, and an amount, right? So let's say 1000, and I'll click on transact. So when I do this, it's going to ask me for confirmation, and when I click on confirm, there we go. This transaction mined very quickly. And now if I go to Alice, I should see that she has received a very small amount, because I added a very small amount here of LWE3. All the while, Bob's assets have not gone down, right? So he still owns all the 1000 LWE3, because he has actually increased the total pool of LWE3. So the idea here was just to describe like how you can, configure this. So again, please go back, explore all the possible features here. And yeah, that's really it. We will, like I said, attach all these documentation on our Discord server. So stay active there and ask us any queries that you might have. And do explore OpenZeppelin, MetaMask, Robsten, and we will be conducting these weekly. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel so that you know, and stay active on Discord actually, so that you know when our next stream is going to be, where we will actually discuss how you can create your own NFTs. And that's it, guys. We are 2 minutes above our time. So thank you for staying. Have a great day.